First thing to do is print the section in Autocad. Remember, when plotting your file, there is no need for a very large paper size. Change the plot style to monochrome at the top of the panel and the quality to maximum. Now press right-click to open the PDF with Photoshop. Create new file and drag and drop the model. Before rendering a section or a plan, first thing to decide is what type of style we want the outcome to have. This depends on the project in general. If you have a style in your project, it is better to follow that style for your section render. It's also good to have a color palette for your drawing. This helps you have similar drawing colors in the whole project. This drawing has metal supporting structure with wooden planks inside. First thing I do when I start is to separate the metal structure with a gray metal looking gradient. Afterwards, before adding the textures, I separate the indoor and outdoor areas with different colors from my palette. I start adding the textures, beginning with the wooden planks for the interior. The technique I use is to find the right size of the texture, then I multiply it and merge the layers together in the new texture. Finally, I take the mask from the interior layer and drag it to the wood layer while pressing Alt. I reduce the wood opacity so my interior color appears. Then I repeat the same process for the corrugated metal. It is very useful to have a texture library where you store all the materials you use. This way you can browse your materials without having to search on Google every time. Next, I add a new color for the walls and openings. I continue by adding the lights layer, in which I outline the light coming from the sun. To get the 45 degrees angle, I hold Shift. I take the brush with a light yellow to outline the shapes I created. I use the eraser to make the light disappear softly as it gets inside the building. I repeat the same process for the interior lights. Later, I add a black layer with low opacity for the darkest areas and use the burn tool while having the texture layers selected. For the sky, I place the sky layer behind the rest of the layers and use my color palette to change the color. For the ground, I add a gradient of black and white and a sand texture. To separate it from the building, I also add a black line in between. I add the details by first adding the people's silhouettes. For the scale of the people, I compare them to the door. There is no need for a lot of detail, especially for a quick rendering. I add some birds on the sky and the secondary texture and detail for the door and the bar. I didn't want to have wireframe bar stools, so I added photos of them. Finally, I changed the sky and the ground so it matches the size I want to export. That is the result of a 30 to 35 minute render. Thanks for watching.